Hello and welcome to the channel. This is the ultimate LTSpice and electronics playlist. In this playlist I will show you everything that I have learned during my studies as a computer engineer when it comes to LTSpice and electronics. This means by the time you work through this playlist, you will know everything that is expected of a computer engineer when it comes to electronics and LTSpice. If this is something that you're interested in, please consider subscribing. So, without further ado, let's jump into the video. First, what is LTSpice? LTSpice is a simulation packet that real computer engineering students use to simulate circuits. You can use it to measure voltage and current over any circuit that you create, and I personally have used it to better understand electronics during my studies. The first step is to go to your browser and actually download LTSpice. So I'm going to do just that. When I search for LTSpice download, the first website that pops up is this www.analog.com, which is the website that I use to download my LTSpice. Then you can choose your operating system. I'm going to go with Windows 64-bit, and then the installation process is going to start. When the installation process is done, you can open up the installation wizard. You can just say yes to this. And then once you have accepted the terms and agreements, you can browse for a place to store it on your PC. I would recommend leaving it at the default, but it's up to you. And then you can click install now. Now I already have LTSpice on my computer, so it's not necessary for me to install, but if you have not downloaded LTSpice yet, this would be your chance now. Congratulations, now you have LTSpice installed in your PC and you're one step closer to becoming proficient in electronics and on your way to becoming a computer engineer. So when you have LTSpice open, the first thing you can do is just to create a new schematic, and then we can start playing around with the basics. So the most important thing is actually to draw wires that connects all your components. A handy tool for that is to just press F3 on your computer, which will allow you to actually draw wires. And then when you right click, you exit the wire tool. Now the next thing is, if you want to add some resistors, let's say you can press R, and then you can add a resistor to your circuit, and then once again press right click to just exit away from that. If I want to set the resistance of this resistor, you can right click on the component and then add the ohms. Let's say I want to make it 1000 ohms, which is also very nice about LTSpice is you can use 1K, which is the same as 1000. And then obviously you're going to need some voltage in your circuit, so let's say you want to add a voltage component. You can just press V, and V is going to give you this nice voltage component. Now once again you can right click on this component to set a DC value. If you want to make it an AC value, which is something that I will get to in further tutorials, you can go to advanced and then select sine wave or a pulse wave, but for now we're just going to settle with a 5V DC. And then lastly F3 again to just connect these two, and there you have your first LTSpice circuit. Now obviously this doesn't look too great, so let's fix this up a bit by using F5. I get the scissor icon, which allows me to delete wires, and then by right clicking I can just exit out of that again, going into F3 again to get my wire back, and then connecting it up nicely. Now let's say we want to run this circuit. I'm going to press on this component or this button over here, and then it's going to ask my stop time. Now for most applications you can just go with 5 milliseconds, which would be good enough. Oh, and of course you also need to add a ground as well, which is very important, a step that I missed. So by doing that you just press G on your keyboard, and then you can add ground anywhere in the circuit, and now we should be able to actually run it. If you want to measure the voltage over the resistor, you can just press above the resistor. If you want to measure the current through the resistor, you can actually click on it as well. And there you can see that both you can see the voltage and the ampere, or in this case milliampere, for the circuit. So this is a basic walkthrough of your first schematic in LTSpice. That concludes the first episode of this ultimate playlist for LTSpice and electronics. If you enjoyed this video and if you are excited for more LTSpice and electronics tutorials, please consider subscribing to the Computer Engineering Blueprint.